Today we're going to be checking out the most requested official cases for the S24 Ultra. If you'd like to purchase any of these, check out the links below. Right, let's get into our first case. So this is the dark violet silicone case from Samsung, and it does come in violet, which is slightly brighter than this. You've got lime green, white, and also yellow as well. This is very much different than any silicone case that I've seen from Samsung or anyone else for that matter. As soon as you get it out of the box, you can tell that it's made differently. It has this hard plastic inner material, so it feels very rigid. However, you still have this nice soft silicone material on the outside, so you wouldn't be able to tell the difference once it's on the phone. Popping it on the phone, it fits nice and easily, so you've got no problems taking this on and off. You can tell this is made by Samsung because the camera lenses fit precisely in the cutouts. Honestly, there's almost no gap for dirt and debris to get in between. I also like that Samsung have included their logo on the bottom, just in a darker colour here. Now, other than that, the buttons feel nice and clicky. However, it is a little strange that the case doesn't come right to the edge of the screen, but you can sort of see the colour of the phone just barely through the edge. It's not a big deal, and I don't think it would necessarily provide any extra protection, but it's just something that I've noticed. Other than that, the cutouts, as you'd expect, are nice and big, so you can easily get the S Pen out. I think it's worth the price just for the fact that it's a little bit more rigid than some of the cheaper silicone cases out there. Right, let's move on to our next one. So this is the Smart View wallet case for the S24 Ultra. We've got ours in violet, however, it also comes in black, white, and green as well. Now, as soon as you pop it on the phone recognizes it's the Smart View wallet case. So you get functions like this where you can still see your time and notifications through that smart window. Now, I've always personally loved these cases as they provide ultimate protection for your phone while still being able to view and see things through that window. Now, at $43.99, it is quite an expensive phone case. However, I suppose it does add this functionality that no other case adds. Now, as I mentioned, you can actually talk on the phone with this case closed, thanks to there being an earpiece cutout at the top. And when you open up the phone, you have ample room to fit a couple of cards in there, so you can carry your ID and a bank card around as well. One thing to note though, is if you fold this over the back, it will cover some of the cameras, so you probably want to use it like a book when you're taking photos. Now, on the side of the phone, the buttons are actually made out of like a plastic material, so they feel fairly metallic and really clicky. Honestly, a lot more clicky than the silicone case that just uses the silicone on the side. Overall, a very nice case, but as I say every single year with this case, why can't Samsung add the functionality to make this case stand up as well? It just seems like a missed opportunity because it would add another unique selling point to the arsenal that it already has. Right, let's move on to our third case. So this is a brand new case for this year from Samsung, and it's called the Shield case. Honestly, I sort of dig the looks. It looks very different than their usual sort of plain cases. It has these sort of textured lines on the back that just give it a bit of something different. We have ours in light grey, however, it's also available in violet. Now at $33.99, it's the same price as the silicone case, so let's see if I prefer this one. Now, looking at the actual case in a little bit more detail, it's almost made up of two little sections. Not that you can actually really tell them apart, but there's almost like a clear part on some of the case, and then you have this more solid coloured part here. It looks really nice, and it does add to it, making it feel a little bit more premium. Now, popping this case on the phone, it gives it a sort of different look. It feels a lot more squared off than some of the other cases that we've looked at that tend to be more curved. And I think this one is definitely made in mind with the S24 Ultra. Now with that flat screen, they can add bezels to the left and right hand that are the same height as the top and bottom. The buttons as well are actually floating, so they feel incredibly clicky, even though they're just made out of plastic. I know I said it on the silicone case, but it goes for every case that we have here today. Samsung have really nailed the precision cutouts for the camera lenses. There's honestly no extra room for dust and debris to get caught in between. So a big thumbs up there. I don't think it will necessarily protect your phone any more than some of the other cases that we've looked at so far. However, I like that Samsung are trying something different. I do wish that they had this available in more colours, as I think it will be a popular model. Right, let's move on to our next case. So this is the standing grip case. While it is brand new for this year, I suppose it's a take on what they had for the S24 Ultra last year with their strap case. This year, they've sort of integrated it into the back of the case a lot more. Now, while it's not completely flush, it definitely feels less of a problem when put on a flat surface. The beauty of this is that you can pull the strap down, pop your fingers through it, so you've got more grip of the phone. Or if you're on a train, plane, or anything else, you can pull it down and clip it into place and actually use it as a stand. Now, we've got our case in light blue, however, it also comes in a beige and a dark violet as well. Now, at $48.99, it is a very expensive case, and I'm honestly a little bit disappointed for that price. I think the case is very nice, and I like the inclusion of this strap. However, the buttons are just made similarly to the silicone case that we looked at earlier, so out of the same material. There's no premium floating plastic buttons here, and that's disappointing to me. I am someone that chooses their cases based on function, so I am probably more likely still to use this just because it will stand my phone up. Right, let's check out our final case on today's video. So this is the clear Gadget case from Samsung. The Gadget case has not been very popular. However, Samsung have made a slight change by adding this strap to it this year. So if you're not familiar, Samsung released this Gadget case where you can add different accessories to the back of the phone. However, they then sort of forgot about it and didn't really release any extra accessories. Now, as you can see in the box, there are two accessories this time. So you've got the little finger loop, which can also act as a stand for the phone. And you have this strap, which is brand new for this year. The case itself is essentially just their clear case, which is made out of hard plastic and feels a bit cheap, to be honest. It's essentially a hard plastic case with pretty nice clicky buttons and ample room at the bottom to charge your phone and grab the S Pen from. Pretty basic. However, with this little section here, you can then add this little kickstand or loop, pretty useful, and then you can take it off by just pressing a button. Then you can add things like this strap by, again, just popping it on and turning it around. I think the only thing that raises a question for me is, do you really want this strap hanging from the back of your phone? I'd much prefer to keep the kickstand on, however, that raises concerns itself as well. Because of the thickness of it, it just sticks out from the back of the phone. Thankfully, there are cases out there that add MagSafe to the S24 Ultra, so make sure you check out our video on that as well. Overall, I definitely think this is the worst case Samsung have released this year. It doesn't really add much, and this strap just feels far too long to have any actual purpose. There we go. Some of the official S24 Ultra cases from Samsung. We do have a few more coming in stock over the next few days, so be sure to stay subscribed to see those videos as well. Honestly, if I had to pick one of these cases to use on the S24 Ultra, it's probably going to be this strap case. Now, I know that it doesn't have those floating buttons that I absolutely love, but it does have functionality with this strap on the back, and it doubles as a kickstand too. If you'd like to purchase any of these cases, check out the links in the description below. And if you've enjoyed this video, remember to give us a like and subscribe as well.